What's going on, everybody? My name is Steven. You're watching Foul Airgun Channel. Y'all check it out. I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different today. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos. I have cooked us up another batch of homemade ballistics gel, and this stuff is absolutely firm. I don't know if anybody's ever seen some of my videos in the past, but generally I make this ratio a bit stronger than what a lot of other people do at home. And what the idea is here is to be able to make some shots on the front, and as it travels through the paint pouch here and leaves us our wound channel here, it'll carry some of that red paint in there and allow us to get a better visual on that, because this isn't clear ballistics gel. Now mind you, it is really nice. It turned out really nice this time. However, it's not clear, and so it can be a little bit more difficult to see through it. So I figured we'd bring out the AEA HPSS Plus in 25 caliber. For many of you that may not know, this is a 25 caliber semi-automatic PCP air gun. This is by a company manufacturer named AEA, and has a beautiful folding stock. It's very tactical, has this large air cylinder on the bottom here. It is moderated, so inside of this barrel shroud here, there are actually a couple moderators in here to help quiet the noise down a little bit. I have them removed. I'm not worried about noise out here where I live, obviously. So we're going to be shooting at the ballistics gel here with the 25 caliber, and we're going to be shooting these are H&N Hornets. These are 22 grain H&N Hornets, and not the 25 grain, 24 grain ones, I believe. But these are moving over 900 feet per second. But I keep this in a bag, and I keep it aired up, and it hasn't lost any air. And we are at a full fill, by the way, which is going to be 250 bar, and we're maxed up today, aired up, we're ready to go. We have the power setting at maximum. You can't really run this pistol with the power adjuster on it really like turned down, and that's because it won't have enough air to really cycle the gun. So we're running on full power. We're gonna be shooting these H&N Hornets, and what we're gonna be doing is, you can probably see out here I have a couple panes of glass, and I'm gonna set my ballistics gel out there. And what I plan to do is plan to take a shot, maybe 2 shots with just the ballistics gel, nothing impeding the way of the projectile here. And then what I plan to do is step it up a little bit, and what I'll do is I'll stick 2 panes of glass at one time in front of the ballistics gel, and we'll shoot through that, and we'll see if and how that reacts to the ballistics gel. And I know people probably asking out there, well, what is the absolute reason for this? And there is really absolutely no reason other than I think it's cool, and so we're gonna do it. But anyway, so we're gonna shoot through a couple panes of glass. I got us a couple pieces of sheetrock here, so we're gonna shoot through some sheetrock. Maybe try to shoot through a piece of wood or so. I know that wood is actually very dense, resilient. Obviously, we're not talking about a little tiny skinny piece of press board. We're talking about a piece of plywood or something. But you know, by the time you get trying to shoot through you know, maybe a 1/2 inch piece or a 1/4 inch piece of plywood, you're losing a whole lot of energy there with these pellets. And so I thought about maybe trying to shoot through that into the ballistics gel, but I said no, we're gonna skip that, and instead we'll maybe try shooting through maybe some type of like tin or aluminum type object into the ballistics gel, something thin, perhaps can or something, like a soda can or something, just for the heck of it. It's just to see how things react as the pellets go through things and then carry on, and the type of energy that they carry as they go on beyond moving through these objects. And as well, I also have a huge wax candle, and just for the fun of it, at the end of the video we may set that up there, and we might just blast that, just because I've had it sitting out here and I've had nothing to really do with it. So I figured maybe we'll just prop that up there and we'll just have a little fun with that at the end of the video. So that's what we're gonna do. AEHP, H&N Hornets, ballistics gel, glass, sheetrock, etc., etc. Let's get to it. And we're just gonna go 1 shot for the first one here, and then we'll take a look at it and then make some more. And not like a great direct hit, and put that gun on safety, point it off to the side, and take a look at it. Alright guys, well, you can see that this little paint pouch took a good direct hit there, and I believe we're going to end up losing probably the majority of paint because you can see it's just leaking out. But the cool part is we actually did capture what I wanted to capture here. And if we look real close at it here, since we got a really nice spot here where the sun, we can see a really nice wound channel in there. And we got about, hell, we're probably about 7 inches or so into the gel. You can actually see right in there where the tip dislodged itself. The pellet had a little bit of expansion and carried right on through. Okay, let's see what happens now if we shoot a little bit of glass in front of this stuff. All right, here we go now through two panes of glass here. All right, safety on, point that up out the way. Let's go have a look at that. Okay, so you can see right here, even after going through 2 panes of glass, and you know what? I lied like crazy, y'all. I didn't pay no attention when I grabbed these windows, and these are actually double pane windows. So we've gone through 4 sheets of glass. My goodness, look at that. So we've gone through, you can see the 1, 2, back on through the other side, 3 and 4, and we've gone right through. And you can see, I know I got a mess out here to clean up, but it's all right. It's my area and I clean it up. And you can see we have good penetration. You can see it blew all these little glass shards and things all over the ballistics gel here, so there's definitely not going to be any really wanting to grab hold of that with my hands. But you can see everywhere I'm placing these shots. So this is our first one here, right dead center in the middle. And then I did this one here on the right side, and then one on the left, and it's a highly accurate pistol. And yeah, it looks like it's doing just fine there. You can see again where it comes right on through, and it seems like the brass tips aren't staying connected. They're dislodging at some point, which I expect that to be the case, because you can see clearly that these are tumbling as well when they're making impact. So still got some good energy on it to go through. Probably, I mean, heck, that's even still probably 4, maybe 5 inches of gel there. So yep, let's carry on. Let's go ahead and get us out some sheetrock now. See what happens when we shoot through a few pieces of sheetrock here. Alrighty, now we're gonna give it a try with 1 sheet of sheetrock here, and man, we may double it up. We may do 2 sheets. We may do 3. I'm not sure. All right, here we go. Single sheet of sheetrock. All right, let's go have a look. All right, here we go with 1 sheet of sheetrock here. Made a little shot there. Right on through. Passed out. Right here, see if I can get you around there a little bit better. Right there is where we went in, and it looks like, unfortunately, I am not seeing. Oh, hang on just a minute. I could be a fool. There it is. The one on the back side here. And maybe get you around to the other side here. You can see it a little bit better. Right there is our new one. So looks like it actually it still had quite a lot of energy there. I'm actually impressed with the results here. So obviously, you know, shooting glass, shooting through the glass, we weren't going to get very much penetration because we were going to lose a lot of energy right here at the glass. But the first shot was actually this one that's really long in the middle here. This was an unobstructed shot, and we got us about, I would say, about 7 to 8 inches of ballistics gel there. But for whatever reason, and it could be that we had a pressure change in the gun, and pressure was a little bit high. Maybe we went from shooting at the, you know, low to mid 900 feet per second range, and you can see how much that small bit of velocity can make such a huge difference. Because not just did we pass through this, what is this, about a half inch or 3/4 possibly sheet of sheetrock here, but in through the ballistics gel, through the plastic bag filled with the paint here, and it did carry us a very long ways. And I believe a big part of that is also, if you notice the big difference here, the projectile still has its tip on its brass tip. So I think that is going to really help carry that projectile much further as far as penetration. I mean, there's no denying that that's obviously working. So now we're gonna double it up. I think we're just gonna double this up now, and we're gonna shoot it with 2 sheets of this, I believe it's 3/4 sheetrock here, and see how that does. The 2 panels, 2 sheets of the 3/4 sheetrock here, and we're gonna see if we can try to get a clean shot away from the rest, maybe a little bit off to the left here, and see if we can make this work. Well, it was definitely a good hit. So now let's go take a look and see what we got. All right, much better that time. This worked out much better. So you can see now we clearly have double penetration on these, both of these sheets, these panels of sheetrock here. So made us a nice clean shot, exactly where I wanted it to be. Just about, could have been a hair bit more to the right, but I'm not going to be picky there. You can see it went right through both there. You can see the light on the other side. In, out, in, and out of 2 3/4 sheets of sheetrock, guys. Into our ballistics gel. Looks like right here is our first little, yep, that's our entrance right there, and it went right through a right nice hefty place on the bag there, on that blood pouch. And you can see it carried a nice good little bit of that. Oh, I just dirtied up our gel here and made it hard for us to see. Anyways, you can see right up there, you can see the projectile. And again, you'll notice, if you look at this one, you see that it's got the brass tip on it. And I really believe that if that brass tip is staying intact while it's flying, it's making those things penetrate a whole lot better. All right, so now we're gonna do one last thing here. We're gonna try and shoot through a spray paint can and see what that does. Right here on the paint can, and see if we can make it into that ballistics gel. Well, it most certainly made a mess. Now I gotta go check and make sure my camera's not covered in black paint. All right, well, a couple lessons learned here. Number 1 for me, that's messy, absolutely messy. So do not do that again with the camera nearby. Anyways, I had a little bit more leftover paint than I thought it did in it. I promise you, it was practically completely empty. Anyhow, you can see that it actually went in right here, right back almost into where we had a previous entrance. So it marred that up real nice, and sent all kinds of black paint, but it went right on through. And the absolute crazy part about it too, again, is that, look at that. I'm pretty sure that's the one that we were missing here from before. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yep, so this one here, and actually look at that. Look what I noticed. That pellet is highly deformed. You can actually take a good look at some of them and compare the differences and see how, like this one here, this one is really marred up. It's compressed and it's had some pretty good expansion, but at the same time still has its projectile, its tip, pardon me. And then if you look right here on this one, the one we just shot, this one went through, it lost its tip, but had really great expansion, but still managed to travel a really good ways through that gel. I mean, we are still near the back end of that gel, so still carrying a lot of energy. Absolutely carrying a lot of energy. And now here I come around this side so everybody can see the mess we've made here. Luckily, all that glass we shot earlier, any of that small stuff caught in that chair. That old chair just stays outside. I'll still sit in it, not a problem. So we made a mess, but we had some fun doing it. Hopefully you all can see through this stuff here pretty well. I'm not sure if the camera's doing it much justice, but I tell you, I can see through it. I feel like this batch of gel came out pretty good here. It's really tough. Like I said, I mix this stuff up extremely firm. I think people do 1 cup to 1 cup, and I pretty much do half a cup of water, maybe a little bit closer to 3/4 cups depending on the cup that I'm pouring in, but generally I'm just doing half cups to 1 cup of Knox gelatin is what I'm making this stuff out of. But anyways, works really well, and it's fun to shoot, that's for sure. And I sure hope you all enjoyed it. And now I think we're just gonna set up this big wax candle I got here, and we might just go ahead and blast that a couple times and call it at that. All right, y'all, well, that's pretty much it there. I hope you enjoy this video. I'm just gonna go ahead and end out with we're just gonna go ahead and shoot up this giant candle here, just because I just want to see how it reacts. Still using the H&N Hornets here on the same fill still, and I'm just gonna step back and just shoot it. Sometimes that's just the best thing to do, is just get out and shoot stuff, you know. And I found out that these air guns, cheap, not the actual air gun itself, because unfortunately the actual product itself is a work of art sometimes, and sometimes things ain't real cheap. But ammunition and the stuff to get out here and do it and have some fun and some cheap targets, I mean, it's just the way to go. So anyways, I hope you guys like this video. If you do like it, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to follow me if you want to see more like this. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time.